It's up to you, New York, New York.
Well, the day finally came. I was here in New York City.
I'm finally here.
It was such a quick trip. It only took me a flight, then train, then another train, and a subway, where I eventually had my first encounter with city's infamous locals. Oh, and you know what no one told me? That it turns out finding one hotel during the holidays was nearly impossible. So instead, I had to book not one.
That's it?
Not two.
Ta-da!
But three different hotels. Yep, three separate hotels.
Ladies and gentlemen. Can you see something? Oh! I cannot believe it. It was worth a little bit of extra. A little.
But honestly, it all worked out. I got to stay in the heart of Wall Street and Midtown, right in front of Empire State Building. And in true cliche fashion, Empire State of Mind was blasting in my head on full volume the entire time.
Do not get into credit card debt for this.
When my New York City trip was locked in, I had one mission: to get the perfect, iconic I Love New York t-shirt. I thought it's gonna be a quick stop, maybe an hour or two max, but I was so wrong. Every souvenir shop had them, yet somehow finding one that was both decent quality and not ridiculously overpriced felt impossible. What should have been a simple purchase turned into a full-blown multi-day hunt for the perfect t-shirt.
I've been bargaining with that guy for like 20 minutes to give that shirt for $20. But I don't want to pay $30 for a shirt when I paid $15 for a designer shirt. It doesn't even make any sense. So, yes, I'm cheap.
What is this?
It's day 4 of my New York City trip and I still haven't found the I Love New York t-shirt, and at this point I am this close to giving up and buying the cheap souvenir one, but I feel like what I want is the best quality for the lowest price. Do you get what I mean?
I'm at the store number. I am too tired to count anymore. I mean, like, I like the way it looks. No, I don't like the shirt.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's go. I've been to like 10 souvenir shops and I cannot find the perfect shirt. I'm running out of patience. I have to find the shirt. I cannot leave New York City without having the shirt. Ta-da! I know. I know. Trust me, I know. I cannot believe I spent 3/4 of my trip on this hunt for the perfect t-shirt just to come up with something that you can find at any souvenir store on any street of New York. Did I accomplish my mission? Sorta, kinda, but am I happy?
Good evening, New York. It's 8:14 p.m. and the city, well, it's just getting started.
Grand Central Station. It's grand and it's central. Okay, so I had this idea in mind to recreate this scene from Madagascar that I'm sure everybody saw at one point in their life. But there's one issue. I am not good with public video taking or whatever. So it's kind of like contemplating whether I should do it or no. But yes, I should do it. I cannot take videos in public. This is hard. This is hard and I need to get over this. I want to do this scene. I have been wanting to do it for a while, so I need to get my business up and just do it. Perfect.
Grand Central Station. It's grand and it's central.
I did it. 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 I am ready for my TED Talk. Call me up. One of the many reasons I planned my trip in winter was to experience the holiday spirit of New York City. And I got plenty of it. The streets were glowing with lights, decorated trees were everywhere, and I finally got to do something I've always dreamt of: meeting New Year's in New York. Whenever I mention that New Year's Eve is my favorite holiday, people always look at me weird. But it's been a significant part of my life since I was a kid. And really, what place is better to welcome the new year than New York?
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Everywhere I looked, I felt like I was in Home Alone 2. And on the very last day, before the Rockefeller tree was taken down for the season of 2024, we walked through a small square in front of the tree when it suddenly stopped. That's when it hit me. This is the Kevin meeting mom scene. I have to recreate it. I just have to recreate it.
I know I don't deserve a Christmas, even if I did do a good deed. I don't want any presents. Instead, I want to take back every mean thing I ever said to my family, even if they don't take back the things they said. I don't care. I'll love all of them, including Buzz. If it isn't possible I can see all of them, could I just see my mother? I'll never want another thing as long as I live. I just want my mother.
I took it from here. Thanks for the vibes. It's actually crazy how many spots in New York City I recognize from different movies and TV shows. But if there was one place that felt like a giant film set, it had to be the Central Park. I even came across that iconic bridge where Peter and Mary Jane broke up in Spider-Man 3. Just walking through those locations felt surreal, like stepping straight into the scenes I grew up watching. But there was one particular spot that made me feel a little cheeky. You would think the Empire State Building or the Statue of Liberty would be at the top of my list, right? Not really. For as long as I can remember.
Getting my hands on a proper New York style pizza was the real dream. And as a lifelong Spider-Man and How I Met Your Mother fan, those NYC pizza scenes weren't just moments in a show or a movie, they were snapshots of a world I had been imagining myself in for years. I just couldn't leave the city without finally living that experience for myself. I even stopped eating pizza for an entire month before my trip, just to make sure my first bite in New York would be worth it.
Cause I was there by your side, with my eyes open wide, and I know that will always be true.
But honestly, this moment had been building up for much longer than that. You have no idea how many nights I spent as a teenager, hell, even as a full-grown adult, watching dollar slice videos on YouTube, studying best pizza spots in New York City guide like I was preparing for an exam. This wasn't just about food, this wasn't just about pizza, it was about stepping into a piece of my own story.
Thank you.
One I had been writing in my head for years.
I am so excited.
So finally, standing there, holding that warm, greasy, perfectly foldable slice in the middle of the city I had been dreaming about for decades. Let me tell you, it felt like more than just a meal. It felt like a promise I had made to myself a long time ago, finally fulfilled. And leaving New York without trying an authentic slice, that was never an option. And I'm happy to report that not a single day went by without this cheesy goodness.
At this point, I'm a pizza connoisseur.
Not only did it keep my body warm during those cold January nights,
Modern problems require modern solutions.
but it also kept my soul warm, feeding not just a version of me standing there in that moment, but also my 5-year-old self who had been waiting for this moment forever. And not to be dramatic, but it was way more emotional than it looks. And just so y'all don't think I'm obsessed with pizza or that was my only food of choice like some greasy dough addict, not that it can't be, but I do have free will and I did exercise it properly. At the expense of my wallet, of course. I had to balance it out.
Max, secure.
And I did try some things that were on my list, like banana pudding from Magnolia Bakery,
Mine is better.
I also had the pleasure of getting double chocolate chip cookies from Levain Cookies.
They're warm.
Sipping some coffee from Ralph's Coffee, slaughtering some bagels from Leo's Bagels,
Famous or infamous New York City.
and dipping my whole face into famous wraps from Chelsea Market. Heck, I even tried McDonald's,
There's no salt. Okay, it's pretty dry.
and I dared to go to Dunkin' Donuts because I really wanted to know what's the hype. Yes, I know, the list isn't the most unique thing you would find when it comes to food scene in New York City. I'm sorry, I didn't go to some hidden gem spot somewhere in the 5th floor in the basement behind a laundromat in Chinatown where some 112-year-old grandma is making some soup from a different soup that was 778 years old. Can't the guy just be basic? Everything aside, New York City is lucky not to have me in their city permanently because I would have absolutely obliterated every single restaurant and takeout spot every day if I lived here. And just like all good things in life, my trip had to come to an end. I know, people love to say, don't hype it up too much, you'll end up disappointed, and that New York is too loud, too crowded, too chaotic. And yes, it was chaotic.
I can't believe I survived all of this.
And there were so many people. I literally had to fight for my life just to rub some metal bull balls by Wall Street to manifest more money.
I am so proud I did it. Let's go, let's hope and pray the credit card debt will be gone. Please, the balls need to work.
I generally try not to subscribe to that mindset. I went in with big expectations.
Look, it's much more than I expected.
And somehow, New York still exceeded them. Even when things didn't go as planned, like my helicopter ride getting cancelled.
I'm still, a little upset because I've been wanting to do it for so long. But what that means is I have another reason to come to NYC.
Welcome to the New York City video.
I didn't feel let down because this trip gave me exactly what I needed. Maybe even more. Listen, I don't live in New York, but there's something about the city that made me feel like I belonged here. It felt like this big character from a movie or a TV show who's bald, chaotic, and full of personality. Someone that encourages you to be yourself, to not worry about others, to not worry about fitting in, and to lean all the way into your weirdness, your dreams, your individuality. There aren't many places in the world that makes you feel that alive and that seen. And I'm just really happy I got to experience a little piece of that magic. But for now, until next time, New York.